So Liz, question of the day.
Yes.
Uh,
I gotta protect my food.
what's the most important thing in the news going on right now?
I think the most important thing in the news right now, there's an inflation report today that said inflation is as high as it's been since 1981. But here's the thing. If you look at anything, our gas prices, gas companies, food companies, eggs are like up 55%, beef's up like 9%. Companies are price gouging. And that's what Republicans want. Republicans like businesses to just run wild. And we'll come back to that in just a second. But there are a lot of businesses that don't like regulation. And because Democrats are for regulation and safety and health, there's a lot of businesses that don't want the Democrats to win in November 2022 for the midterm elections. And so they're intentionally making things a little bit more difficult for Democrats. Now, I said we'd come back to something. The Supreme Court a week or two ago ruled that the EPA does not have a congressional mandate unless it's specifically given to control things or to investigate things, even though their very name is the Environmental Protection Agency. And what was it you were saying? Because the EPA can't do their job, the Food and Drug Administration can't properly screen beef and chicken?
I think that's what the article said. I read. I didn't write it.
So what's the most important thing happening in the news today? The most important thing happening in the news today is you need to dig a little deeper. Don't just take what's on the surface. Go to Google, go to Snopes.com, check your sources. Don't rely on Wikipedia. Don't rely just on MSNBC or just on Fox or whatever the shirt Gundy had on.
Because they all have their slant.
They all have the bias. And so you need to do, the guy yesterday that testified, Ayers, he said, I got rid of all my social media and I started doing my own research, and I realized with 63 court cases were found against any sort of election fraud. Mm-hmm. You kind of start like there's conspiracies, but you can't get 63 different courts to be in on the same conspiracy. Those are Republican appointed judges too. So the most important thing in the news today is pay attention, do your research.